Devabrata Dutt, fondly known also as Bapi Dutt, is a childhood friend of mine. I have known him from the time that we were in Bharat Electronics Bell Colony, and we were, classmates in primary school, and then of course we've been friends for a long time. We learned Taekwondo together. He is blessed with, he's married and blessed with two daughters, and he's a multifaceted personality. He's a sixth Dan black belt in Taekwondo and an international master instructor of Taekwondo from Korea. And then he's of course also an expert in Qigong and Tai Chi. He has a center which teaches Taekwondo, Qigong, Tai Chi, as well as he does breath re-education. He's a breath re-education coach. He's a certified Oxygen Advantage instructor, certified Circle of Life coach from USA, and he is also a healer of Access
Bar.
Access Bar. He has over 3,000 students under him right now in various international schools, and he's a much sought after Taekwondo, Qigong, and Tai Chi instructor. And lately, his Oxygen Advantage is becoming really popular everywhere, and his breath re-education coach in the COVID times is very, very significant. Over to you, Devabrata Dutt or Bapi.
Thank you, Chaya. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I just want to know when do I have to, what time do I have to stop? Okay, what time do I stop this?
So normally you can go up to 45 minutes. Okay. 8:30.
8 up to 8:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir,
okay.
half an hour to 45 minutes is fine, sir. You can leave, give about 10-15 minutes also for question and answers based on your comfort level. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Just let me know if you are able to see the screen, please.
Yes, sir. We can see the screen.
Everybody can see the screen. Okay. Right. So today I'm going to talk about a subject in breathing, and it's mostly about carbon dioxide. And I will come to that a little later. But before that, let me give you from where I'm getting this information, okay? Trying to understand the science and how we can deepen the practice. Now, in this 30-45 minutes, it's going to be very difficult for me to share everything. So I'm going to go very quickly as far as the theory is concerned. And if you have any request for more information, just you just have to send me a WhatsApp message, and I'll send you the details, because I would like to give you as much as information possible. Number one. Number two is I'm going to teach you one particular technique which will improve your heart rate variability, which I'll come to that in the presentation very quickly. And along with that, I will also introduce you to mindful interventions, how you could use these interventions in your daily activity to cope up with anything with respect to panic attacks, anxiety, fear, or whatever it is, body pain, muscle pain, or anything. So we generally practice 7 to 8 interventions, and they become part of your lifestyle. But it's going to be difficult for me to do all the interventions. But today I will give you one intervention and one beautiful technique for the rest of your life, where your heart rate variability will increase. And and then if you're interested more than beyond that, then I can definitely help you with more information on request. So from where am I getting these source? How am I trained and from where? Okay, Oxygen Advantage and Buteyko Clinic method. I'm an instructor in these two processes, and my instructor is Patrick McQueen. He's from Ireland, And oxygen advantage is all about, the right way of breathing. And I'll just be talking on that. And more important, it will be emphasized on carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, as we have learned in school, is a waste gas, and we think it's not very useful, but now science tells us it's a different story. Okay, more than oxygen, CO2 is equally important. So Patrick McQueen is my instructor, and here we go. So 2000 years back, okay, it was known that a perfect man breathe as if he's not breathing. And then Professor A.C. Guyton, also an author of medical textbooks, gives a final conclusion to, like all chronic pain and suffering diseases are caused from lack of oxygen at the cell. So it all points to breathing. Can we mute? Have everybody muted?
Hello, can everybody mute themselves, please?
Muted.
You can meet everybody here.
Okay, I think everybody is muted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So everything points at breathing. If you look at these two, prominent personalities that we know about. Okay, Lao Tzu, he said this 2000 years back, and of course, A.C. Guyton, also author of many medical textbooks that are used. Now, what is common among all these diseases? Among the diseases on the left-hand side, I've just taken some. Okay, and the emotional imbalances on the right, the orange versus the white. What is common among all these and emotional imbalances? Okay, it is overbreathing or hyperventilation, the samskara of breathing too much, which is otherwise also known in medical terms dysfunctional breathing patterns. And in our coaching, what we do is we bring in the functional breathing pattern, but we need to identify what is a dysfunctional breathing pattern and how that can be made functional. So, which I will also explain when I'm teaching you the cadence breathing, when we want to work towards increasing our heart rate variability. Now, in the medical textbooks, of course, 10-15 years back, the optimum breathing at rest for an adult is 3 to 5 liters per minute. That is, if a healthy person, if he's breathing anywhere between 3 to 5 liters per minute, in his pulse oximeter, his saturation will show 98% SpO2. But in today's lifestyle, the breathing has changed. Almost 90% of the normal, population is breathing around 10 to 12 liters per minute. It is since 1990. The lifestyle has started changing, and now majority of them are breathing anywhere between 10 to 12 liters. A healthy person breathing at 5 liters per minute, his saturation is at 98%, 99%. That will show in the oximeter. Now, even if you're breathing at 10 to 12 liters, that means you're breathing for 2 people, approximately. Approximately, you're breathing for 2 people. Your saturation will still show 98% or 99%. So anything over 5 liters per minute is considered overbreathing. So in our training, what we do is we teach people, if you're breathing around 10 liters or 15 liters or even 20 liters, okay, of course, people who are very sick in the hospital are breathing anywhere between 18 liters to 20 liters per minute. They're breathing very fast and rapid, and even emotional distress can also take you to that amount. What we do is, our breathing technique is so beautiful that we teach you how to reduce from 15 liters to 10 liters to 8 liters, and yeah, it takes practice. Does it happen in few months? No, but one has to commit to train to learning these techniques, how to do this, okay? So, what is this, okay? What is a pH CO2 link? The pH balance in the blood is, the perfect balance is around 7.365. Now, I'm going to talk about CO2. If your CO2 increases, or if your CO2 decreases, there is an imbalance in the pH. number one. And most of the time, the body pH balance should be taken care by our lungs, the way we breathe. So we are talking about a healthy person. I'm not going to those who are sick or those who are COVID. We won't go there, okay, because they're slightly in a different state of, the body is slightly in a different state. But I'm talking in general, what happens is, if a healthy person is, if his CO2 level is high or if his CO2 level is less, the pH changes. So let's look into the what happens with CO2. Actually, CO2, carbon dioxide, is the chief hormone for entire body. It is the only one that is, helps every tissues and probably acts on every organ. So when we breathe too much, okay, those who are reading, please go through these notes. I haven't described all. I've just taken some aspect of what happens if your carbon dioxide is low, when you breathe too much of oxygen, when you inhale so much of oxygen, when you hyperventilate, there is so much of oxygen, the CO2 is released, and there is absolutely less CO2 in your body. And what happens when your CO2 is less? So these are some of the symptoms that are here. That is, one is a low CO2 content worsens brain function. It does not allow oxygen to be delivered, number one. Number two is, if there is very low CO2 content in your blood, it also constricts your blood vessels, and your blood vessels become narrow, and as a result, the delivery of oxygen into your brain is not good enough. Why into the brain? Into the different parts of the body also reduces. Okay. There are other things that low CO2 level increases excitability of the nervous system, and there are other reactions because of that. So what I'm just going to keep it short. Low CO2 in your blood results to a lot of imbalances in the body. And the technique that which you're going to learn today, the cadence breathing, which we're going to do today, will also enhance nitric oxide. Okay, nitric oxide promotes fitness and health. Our body produces nitric oxide, and it has various functions. It's a powerful vasodilator. Okay, it relaxes the blood vessels. It lowers BP and the heart rate. It protects the organs from damage. Okay, nitric oxide helps communication between nerve cells and brain. It assists in immune system. It improves sleep quality. It increases strength and endurance. And of course, recently we have two gentlemen who won a Nobel Prize on discovering something potent on nitric oxide. So our focus today is that the technique that we are going to learn is how to slow down, how to reduce the oxygen in our body to produce more oxygen. And I would like to share the next thing is how oxygen is delivered. I don't know how many of you are aware of it, how oxygen is delivered, but I'm going to keep it very, very simple, okay? On your left is the Bohr effect. And in this, if you go to the third paragraph, if you all are reading what is there on the left side, on the third paragraph, overbreathing causes loss of carbon dioxide from your lungs, blood, tissues, and cells. The result in less oxygen being released from your blood into your tissues and organs. The more you breathe, the more your body is being starved of oxygen. Now, why is that? Okay, on the right side, if you look at the picture, the donut on the top is a hemoglobin protein which carries oxygen. Now, oxygen is carried in the hemoglobin. Almost 98% of oxygen is carried through hemoglobin, and it is in that donut on the top. Okay, now let me see what I can say. Okay, let's assume a school bus. Okay, a yellow school bus is a hemoglobin protein, and in that there are 4 molecules of oxygen. 4 students now is being carried to the destination. Once they reach the destination, okay, somebody has to open the door for these kids to go out, for these oxygens to be released into the tissues, into the muscles. Okay, That is where CO2 is very, very important. In the presence of carbon dioxide, if you look at the third donut at the bottom, in the presence of CO2, oxygen is released. So now when somebody is frustrated, is in anxiety, we tell them don't panic, when they go for interviews, when they write exam, when they go to meet something, they want to do something very special, what do we first tell them? We tell them to take a deep breath in. It's not going to help by taking a deep breath in. That is, you're telling him to take more oxygen. Actually, it should be the other way. He should learn to relax, slow down his breath, see that the CO2 level, there is a perfect pH balance, and then there is a tremendous oxygen delivery into the body. Towards the end, I will take some questions on this. So what are we going to do today? What's the highlight? The breathing technique that I'm going to teach you is, it helps increase your heart rate variability. What is an heart rate variability? It's a valid and a reliable predictor of autonomic nervous system function, which controls the sympathetic and the parasympathetic function, balance of the body. Okay. Now this breathing technique, what happens is you can do it in two ways. One is you can follow the red arrow, which is the sympathetic method, where you are, where you're in a fight and flight mode. So you practice in such a way that you are stressed. A lot of people, when they do exercise, they are totally stressed, and you look at the red arrow following down, your heart rate variability decreases and your performance goes down and down and down when you're in the sympathetic system. But suppose when you practice in the parasympathetic system, the method on the right side where you see the green arrow, okay, you will start seeing growth, repair, your recovery from whatever you're suffering. If you fall sick and if you are in the state of parasympathetic state, you will recover faster. Your HRV increases, and also we have seen there is increased performance in whatever activity you do. Whether they are athletes or creators or painters or you're writing, practically you're in an absolutely relaxed state. So today's breathing will improve heart rate variability. I'm very happy that I've taken 15 minutes to come here. So I think I have time to teach you all in greater detail. Now let us look at a graph, okay, of a person who's frustrated and who's also happy. If you look at the left, you see his heart rate indicator is absolutely jagged. But the moment he breathes in the parasympathetic state, you see how smooth his heart rate becomes. So what are we looking through our breathing pattern by increasing CO2, by trying to bring the CO2 in balance, by maintaining our pH balance? What are we trying to do? We are trying to bring in a coherence between your breath, heart rate, and your blood pressure. So if you look at this particular graph at the left-hand side, in the first 300 seconds, it's divided into two parts. In the first 300 seconds, the heart rate of the same guy, when he was in stress, you see how jagged his respiration was, very rapid, fast. He must be breathing here at around 15 to 24 liters per minute. And that is why he's, you see the graph on the respiration, it's like this. And then he pauses and takes a deep breath. And then he breathes from the mouth. And there are so many indicators when somebody is hyperventilating. The same person, when you measure his heart when he is stressed, you can see the jagged graph there. And look at his BP measurement. And we have a saying in Oxygen Advantage, what can be measured can be changed. Can your respiration be measured? Yes. You can increase and decrease it at your will. Can heart rate be measured? Yes. You can increase your heart rate and decrease it using your breath. Is BP measurable? Yes. You can use your breath to increase your BP or decrease your BP. But it is possible, but it comes to practice. So our breath training, we revisit breath in such a way that we are looking at these three states. Now look to the right side and see all the three. His respiration, heart rate variability, and his blood pressure are incoherent. They are in coherence with each other. So what is a good breathing? A good breathing is quiet. A good breathing is calm. A good breathing is invisible. And you always breathe through your nose, not through your mouth. What is not good breathing? One is using your mouth. When you sigh, when you snore, or when you sniff while resting, you're sitting and watching television, you're sitting and yawning, or you're saying, and then, most of the not good breathing is visible. If your breath is visible, if your chest is moving up and down and your stomach is, also expanding and contracting, your shoulders are moving, that's a dysfunctional breathing. And when you're sitting and if your neighbor notices, is able to hear your breathing, that is also not good breathing. So these are some of the indicators to let you know, just to discover what is good breathing and what is not good breathing. So I will just start off with the technique. Okay, so here we are. Some of the instruction is you breathe light, slow and deep, which I will share with you. Then if there is any breath hold, we do the breath hold only after exhalation, not after inhalation. Only after exhalation. When you hold your breath after exhalation, you're also producing nitric oxide in your nasal cavity. And then when on holding the breath, the nitric oxide that is produced need to be pushed into the lungs, because there are a lot of benefits with nitric oxide. Okay, and whenever your mind wanders, gently escort it back to your breath. So those who are interested, if you could kindly switch on your video so that I can see how you're breathing, and otherwise it's not mandatory. And if you want, if I can get any feedback, and if I just want to see how many of you all are breathing the way it is, and I can, based on how you are breathing, and if I can make some few corrections or if I can advise, then you will know what is happening different, how everybody is doing it. And there is no right and wrong, okay? There is no right and wrong, but there is wrong when CO2 is disrespected in our breathing patterns. So let us now sit straight. Sit straight, breathe in. I have exactly 10 to 12 minutes to do this comfortably with all of you all. And I would like to see you from head to waist if possible. Otherwise, don't worry, okay? Yeah. So follow me.
I think we lost Mr. Datta here.
I am not able to see his screen also.
I think we lost him.
Yeah. Maybe power failure, we'll wait for some time.
He's reached out. So you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There has been a current disruption here, and my apologies for that. Okay,
yeah.
Here we go. I'm sharing. If you can see the white screen, just give me a thumbs up, please. Can I have some thumbs up? Okay, thank you. You're able to see the video. Okay, sit straight. Okay, one hand on the chest, one hand in the navel. Okay, and now I want you all to breathe in and notice your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Just inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Forgive my drawing. Okay, and exhale. Okay, inhale and exhale. Just notice the height of the inhalation and the exhalation when it comes down. Just notice this. Breathe in and breathe out. I'm going to follow it up with some instructions. Just okay. Are you notice how much you're breathing in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice how the amplitude of your inhalation and exhalation. My next instruction is breathe slow. My next instruction is breathe slow. Slow down your breath. See that your breath is light and see that your breath is deep. When I say deep, okay, let's assume this is the lungs. Okay, when I say deep, this is the top. Deep means going down, going down. Take a slow, light air and go deep into the lungs. I'm not interested in you taking big breaths. Don't fill the lungs up. Okay, don't fill up the lungs. I'm not interested in you filling the lungs. Okay, there is a difference between in oxygen advantage. This is deep. Okay, sometimes in other school of thoughts, deep maybe fill the lungs up. Okay, I'm not contesting that. Okay, that has a separate purpose. But what we are interested is in a deep breath. So this is depth for us. Now I want you to bring one finger under your nose. Bring one finger under the nose. Imagine that's a feather. Now you must breathe slowly, light and deep. You shouldn't feel the breath hitting your The reason why I want you to do is I want to create air hunger. The purpose of doing this is to create air hunger. You should feel that you need to take a deep breath in. That means I'm asking you to slow down your breath, slow down your breath so that you tend to take less oxygen into your body, and the CO2 level rises. As a result, you will feel air hunger. And if you're feeling air hunger, you're doing it right. And if you're not feeling air hunger, my next instructions, please follow me. Everybody, please do this with me. Relax. Continue. Inhale up to 80% and exhale. The exhalation must be very long. Inhale up to 80% and then exhalation should be long. Now we are intentionally reducing this oxygen and you will have a bit of a discomfort. Don't panic about it. Just I want to show you what happens. Increase and decrease. Okay. I'm just teaching you a technique how to reduce oxygen and increase the CO2 level. And what does the science tell us? In the presence of CO2, the oxygen from the hemoglobin protein releases, and that's when it goes into your brains, into your tissues, into your muscles. Slow, light and deep. So having given this instruction, let us follow now. Follow me. Okay, relax. Hands on the side. Relax. Follow me. Now the cadence breathing starts, where we improve your heart rate variabilities. There are 6 different measurements, but I'm only doing only one measurement. Okay, ready? Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get the rhythm. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Can you do it on your own? On your own? Just mentally count 4 seconds in inhalation, 6 seconds exhalation. Remember, there will be a slight air hunger. There will be slight suffocation. It's okay. We just want to increase your CO2 level. Keep doing. Keep increasing your CO2 level. I'm going to introduce the intervention while you're doing this breathing technique. Interventions are good when you're aware, okay? When your mind wanders off, and interventions are a recognition of who you are as an individual. As an individual, each and every one of us are infinite in nature. I'm coming now to Qigong and Tai Chi. Qi means energy, Gong means cultivating. Qi means energy, Tai Chi means the ultimate. Tai means ultimate, Qi means energy, the ultimate practice, the ultimate energy, okay, which is the universal force, your life force. We are talking about the life force that is alive in each and every human being. And time to time, through intervention, okay, we can use this energy as a potency. Suppose if somebody is stressed, he gets carried away with that stress, but he doesn't understand that underneath that stress there is a potency. He is an infinite being. He can use that potency, he can use that energy. The stress is just a charge, it's just a normal charge, but beneath that charge is his infinite potency. And how he can tap into this infinite potency is where we have several interventions in our training, but today I'm going to introduce you to lotus intervention. Some of you might think that this is a meditation or a visualization or an imagination thing. I have a different meaning with respect to meditation. Meditation means to me something totally different from what we're going to do. This, assuming this as a visualization or a contemplation or whatever it is. So we use this intervention on a day-to-day basis, second to second, minute to minute, and an event to event on a hour to hour basis. But depending if are you conscious about what is happening, are you living consciously or are you living unconsciously? Okay, so most stress is unconscious. We are not even aware. So these intervention raises your awareness to such a level that you recognize, yeah, I'm going to experience something now, and I'm going to accept it and live to the fullest. So lotus intervention. Ready? Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suppose if you feel the suffocation is too much, go back to your normal breath. Go back, recover your breath. Go back to your normal pattern of breathing. Okay, and then again restart. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2. You may want to close your eyes. You may close your eyes and continue your breathing. Get into a comfortable position in your chair. With your back gently supported, allow your eyes to close, either fully or partially, and bring your awareness to your breath. Bring your awareness to the physical sensations in your body every time you breathe in and every time you breathe out. Take a few moments to get in touch with the movement of your breath. Notice where the sensation is. Is it in the chest? Is it in the stomach? Is it in your shoulders? And if there is any tension anywhere, just relax. Relax into it. Close your eyes. This is called resonance frequency breathing. There are 6 variations to improve your heart rate variability, which we have a workshop that we do on this. So continue inhaling and exhaling. Feel the rhythm of the breath in your body. Breathe in and breathe out. Focus on inhalation and exhalation. As you breathe in your mind's eye, imagine a beautiful white lotus flower floating on the pond. The water in the pond is dark and murky. The whiteness of the lotus petals starkly contrasts with the dark waters of the pond. Observe the pristine flower for a few moments, the shape of its petal, the pink or the yellow center, the green leaves around it, the long stem disappearing into the murky waters. Observe that stem, which leads to the root system of the lotus, anchored deeply in the mud and the muck at the bottom of the pond. The lotus derives its life, its beauty from the dark, muddy waters, which support and nourishes it. Notice, look within yourself, noticing any dark, murky, sad, painful places within you, any discomfort. Allow yourself to see beyond the darkness, beyond the sadness, beyond the pain, beyond the discomfort. See yourself beyond. And if you can find any value in your experience, see the spots of light gleaming through the darkness, being supported and nourished, just like the lotus flower. This lotus flower, the you is born from the darkness and the muck. Allow your light to emerge from the pain. Notice, like the lotus flower, then light emerge from the pain, from the discomfort. Give yourself as much as time as you like to reflect on your own ability to bring light from darkness. The strength you might derive from the pain and beauty that is born out of it. Take as much as time you want. Reflect on your ability to draw the light, pull the energy in, pull somehow barriers down, enhance the light from the darkness. The strength you might derive from the pain. Draw that energy. Barriers down, draw the energy from the pain and the beauty that may be born out of it. And whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes and return to your present awareness and go back to your normal breathing. Discontinue the cadence of breathing. There are 6 patterns for breathing in. How do we know that our CO2 is improved in this last 8 to 10 minutes? We have a measuring technique which is called a kind of a breath hold. It's called body oxygen level test or a control pause. I can send you a video where you can learn how to do it, or you can join an introductory session that I'm having next Saturday in the morning from 9 to 10:30 in the morning, where I'll be going deeper into actually how this breathing, how to slow down your breathing. And you can also, the introduction is a free intro, where I'll be sharing how to find out, how to discover how many liters per minute you all are breathing. But even before that, my number is available with Mr. Rajgopal and Chaya. If you send me a request in WhatsApp, and I will send you those videos where you can see and learn how to discover how many liters of air, or you can spend few thousand rupees, go to the doctor. They have a special capnometer where they measure your end CO2, end tidal CO2, and will confirm, or you can do this at home itself. How are you all feeling? Are you the same person just 10 or 15 minutes back? Or is there any difference right here, right now? Are you the same person that you were when you came into the meeting? There are various parameters we use. What we do in our training is we have a pulse oximeter. We always register, we always measure when we enter the training. We record our SpO2 and the heart rate. At the end of the training, we again measure the SpO2 and the heart rate. Now, suppose when you walk into a training and your heart rate is 80, and you do a wonderful series of yoga exercises, or you do a cardio, you go to the gym, you do a fantastic, or you go for a half an hour walk or a 5 kilometer walk, and then when you finish and when you take a measure again, if your heartbeat is reduced from 80 to 75, that means your training has been perfect. That means you did not have stress during training. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Your training has been in the state of parasympathetic nervous. You have used more of the parasympathetic system in training yourself. But if your heart rate has gone up, say from 80 to 84, 85, for some people it will even go 120. Why? Because as they're training, they're desperate to heal themselves. They're desperate to do this. They're desperate to do that. And when you're desperate, you feel expansive or contracted. What are you triggering? Fight or flight or relaxation? So when you train and when you walk, when you go for a walk, people when they go for a walk, are they really walking, or are they discussing problems of life? Or are they multitasking in their head? Or are they, constantly thinking this and this and this and this and this? What's happening? The body is continuously in a in the sympathetic tone. Your blood cells, which is spherical, which is healthy, they become elliptical, unhealthy. And over a period of time, as we grow older and older, we are susceptible to sickness because these elliptical cells don't help you. Then you suddenly wonder why we are not able to, why healing is taking so long. So when you go for a walk, your walk should be, what should the walk do? Give you more energy, relax your heart, bring coherence between your respiration, heart rate, and your blood pressure. When you exercise, when you do yoga, you should always do it in the parasympathetic tone. So these are some of the small little signs that Oxygen Advantage talks about. We are very particular about this. And despite the new norm in the medical field, they say that 10 liters to 12 liters is a normal, healthy liter, is normal. They have declared it as normal. Okay, that's absolutely fantastic. We will accept that because the blood saturation still shows 98, 99%. But yet a healthy person, even when he's breathing at 5 liters, his saturation is still 98%. So why do you need to breathe twice? Why do you need to breathe for 2 people? What's wrong if you can control? And people who are breathing at 5 liters per minute, those who are breathing at 5 liters per minute, what's the difference between people who breathe at 5 liters per minute and people who are breathing for twice or thrice or 4 times? For those who are breathing for 3 people or 4 people, the difference is this. Anybody who can hold their breath 60 seconds at a comfortable, there's something called comfortable breath hold, not maximum breath hold. For 60 seconds, he or she is absolutely healthy. He cannot have a heart attack. He cannot have a stroke. He cannot have diseases. And his immune system is so good that if he falls sick, he'll recover within half a day or 1 day or 2 days. But whereas people with 30 seconds breath hold, who are breathing for 2 people or who are breathing for 3 or 4 people, even So, yeah, so our focus is on CO2, the perfect pH balance through breath. Once the lungs fail to maintain the pH balance in your body, then what happens? The kidney comes in, the spleen comes in, the liver adds. Now these three organs is doing the work what the lungs are supposed to do. As a result, for example, kidneys throw out all the salts and minerals. So I have done this, and you're welcome to keep in touch. I can send you the videos. I can send you some more clinical trials. There are hundreds and hundreds of clinical trials showing that CO2, increasing CO2 in your blood is powerful. Nitric oxide is a big hit, you know, Viagra, through breathing. And now they're coming out with nitric oxide sprays. They're going to give COVID sprays, you know, vaccine coming out, and there's so many such huge discussion. And I'm absolutely excited where the world is going, you know, and what we can do with breathing. Yes, Chaya, Mr. Thank you for the opportunity.